"It's not my fault I fell for your best friend," she cried. "So I canceled our wedding and ghosted them both. Now he cheated on her, and her family is begging me for forgiveness." Hey viewers, before we move on to the video, please make sure to subscribe to the channel and hit the like button if you want to see more stories like this. Thanks. Throwaway account for obvious reasons. This all went down over the last year or so, and honestly, typing it out feels like closing the book on a chapter one never wanted to read. But if you're here for one of those cheating nightmare turned karma comeback stories, buckle up. I'm 28, a software engineer in a mid-sized tech hub city, and I thought I had it all figured out with my fiancée, Emma. We met in college, dated for 4 years, and got engaged last spring. I was the guy who showed up, always. Supported her through 2 job losses in marketing, paid for her online courses so she could level up her skills, even helped her family out when her dad had that medical scare and the bills piled up. I sold my old car to cover some of it, no questions asked. Family first, I'd say, because that's how I was raised. Emma was vibrant, I guess you'd call it. Outgoing, always the life of the party, with this laugh that could light up a room. But looking back, there were signs I ignored because I loved her. Little comparisons that stung, like when we'd be out with friends and she'd say things like, "Jake just gets adventure in a way most people don't." Jake was my best friend since high school. Charismatic salesman type, always chasing the next thrill, but unreliable as hell. Bailed on plans last minute, borrowed money he forgot to pay back. Still, he was my bro, or so I thought. We'd all hang out. Me, Emma, Jake, and sometimes his flavor of the month dates. I never saw it coming. It started subtly. During wedding planning, Emma got distant. We'd argue over dumb stuff, like venues or guest lists, but she'd twist it into me being too practical or not exciting enough. One night, I caught her scrolling through social media late, liking Jake's posts. Nothing overt, but these memes about trading comfort for passion, or when you realize you're safe, bet isn't the jackpot. I brushed it off as stress. Then came the emotional abandonment. She'd cancel our date nights to work late, but her stories didn't add up. Texts from her would be short, dismissive, busy, talk later. Meanwhile, she'd post stories online with Jake, coffee runs, impromptu adventures to hiking spots we'd talked about going to together. It felt like a punch to the gut, but I told myself it was platonic. They were friends through me, right? Flashback to last summer. Emma lost her job again, some restructure at her company. I stepped up, covered rent, groceries, even her phone bill so she wouldn't stress. "We'll get through this," I said, hugging her as she cried on the couch. "I'm your rock." She nodded, but a week later, she was out with Jake for networking drinks. When she came home tipsy, she mumbled something about how Jake makes everything feel alive. I asked if everything was okay, and she snapped, "God, Alex, not everything's a problem. Can't I have fun without you analyzing it?" That hurt, but I let it go. I proposed 6 months later, thinking it would solidify us. Big mistake. The ring was on her finger, deposits down on the wedding, venue, photographer, all that, and she started pulling away more. Calls with her family turned into her venting about how I was financially stable but emotionally boring. Her mom would laugh it off on speakerphone, saying, "Oh, honey, men like Alex are keepers, but spice is nice too." It was like I was the backup plan, the safe choice while she window shopped for thrills. The manipulation ramped up. She'd compare me outright. "Jake took his date skydiving. Why don't we do stuff like that?" I'd remind her I have a fear of heights from a childhood accident, but she'd roll her eyes. Excuses. Life's too short for playing it safe. Online, she'd post cryptic stuff, like a photo of her and Jake at a bar with the caption, "When old friends remind you what excitement feels like." Comments from mutual friends. "You two look great together." I'd see them, feel my stomach drop, but confront? Nah, I trusted her. Or wanted to. One evening, I surprised her with tickets to a concert she'd mentioned, something low-key but thoughtful. She barely reacted. "That's sweet, but Jake said he'd take me to that festival next month." More my vibe. It was like I was invisible, pouring everything into us while she emotionally checked out. The disrespect built quietly, but it was there, texts ignored, affection withheld, her treating me like an obligation. I sat with it, confused, wondering what I'd done wrong. Nights alone in our apartment, staring at the ceiling, replaying moments. The time I skipped a promotion to stay in the city for her career. The weekends I spent helping her network. All for what? To feel like a stepping stone. Little did I know, it was about to blow up. The confession came 2 months before the wedding, over what was supposed to be a cozy dinner at home. I'd cooked her favorite, pasta carbonara, candles lit, trying to reconnect. She picked at her food, avoiding my eyes. Finally, I asked, "Emma, what's going on? You've been distant." She set her fork down, tears welling up, but there was this edge to her voice, like she was rehearsed. "Alex, I don't know how to say this. It's not my fault I fell for your best friend." I froze, fork midway to my mouth. "What? Jake? It just happened." We were hanging out, talking about life, and he gets me in ways you don't. "You're so predictable. Stable. Yeah, but where's the spark?" Jake makes me feel alive, excited. We've been seeing each other for months. Emotionally at first, then more. Months. My voice was steady, but inside, everything shattered. While I was planning our wedding, paying for it. She wiped a tear, but her tone turned defensive, smug even. "Don't make this about money. It's not like I planned it. You were always working late, buried in code." Jake listened, took me out, showed me adventure. "Remember that hike? That was with him, not work. You think life's just bills and routines? I deserve passion, Alex. You've been my safety net, but I need more." "Safety net?" I echoed, the word tasting bitter. "Yeah," she said, crossing her arms. "You're great on paper, reliable, sweet. But Jake? He's the upgrade. He challenges me, makes me laugh till it hurts. And physically, God, it's electric. You and I? It's comfortable, but boring. I tried to fight it, but feelings don't lie. Blame fate if you want, but it's not my fault." I set my fork down carefully. "So the wedding? Cancel it," she said flatly, like it was nothing. "I'll move in with Jake. He's got that loft downtown, way more fun than this place. And don't worry about the deposits. You can handle that, right? You're the responsible one." She smirked a little, twisting the knife. "Mutual friends already know. They get it. Life's too short for settling." Settling. I repeated, the word hanging. "Exactly. You've been holding me back with your safe little world. Jake says I can quit stressing about jobs and just live. We'll travel, party. You'd clip my wings." She stood, grabbing her coat. "I'm sorry if this hurts, but it's the truth. You'll find someone as vanilla as you." She walked out, leaving me with cold pasta and a ringing silence. No screaming match, no pleas from me. Just her twisted logic echoing. Not her fault. Upgrade. Holding her back. I didn't chase her. Didn't call Jake to confront him. What was the point? That night, I sat in the dim kitchen light, the weight of it all crashing down. Confusion swirled. How had I missed this? Flashbacks hit hard. The late nights I'd worked overtime to afford that ring. The times I'd defended Jake to others, calling him harmless. The unfairness burned. I'd given everything, sacrificed promotions to stay local for her, only to be discarded like yesterday's news. I allowed myself one night to feel it. The hurt, the betrayal, the silence of the empty apartment. Stared at photos on my phone. Us at the beach, her smiling. Deleted them all. No tears, just a quiet resolve forming. This wasn't my failure, it was theirs. By morning, I was detached. Called the vendors, venue, caterer, photographer. "Wedding's off," I said calmly, eating the cancellation fees, thousands down the drain, but freedom's price. Transferred the lease to her name since she didn't want this place. Packed my essentials into boxes, left the rest. No note, no drama. Blocked Emma and Jake on everything. Phone, social media, email. Ghosted. Mutual friends texted, "Dude, what happened?" I replied simply, "Ask them." Didn't badmouth, didn't explain. Let the truth percolate on its own. Moved to a small studio across town, nothing fancy, but mine. The first weeks were rough. Waking up alone, the confusion lingering like a fog. Why me? What did I do to deserve this? I'd replay her words, safety net. Boring. It stung, made me question myself. But I didn't lash out. Instead, I channeled it. Hit the gym daily, something I'd slacked on for her schedule. Focused on work. Took that promotion I'd passed on, diving into projects that excited me. Started therapy, too. Unpacked the manipulation, the red flags I'd ignored. "You're not broken," the therapist said. "You were loyal to a fault." It helped. Hobbies resurfaced, reading sci-fi, coding side projects, even joined a hiking group. Ironic, huh? Slowly, the vulnerability faded. Clarity came. I dodged a bullet. Built a routine around peace, not pleasing someone else. Months passed in that quiet dignity. No contact, no stalking their socials. Friends trickled updates unsolicited. Emma and Jake were official, posting lovey pics. It twinged, but I shrugged it off. Focused on me, landed a raise, made new connections. The unfairness still whispered sometimes, late nights. All I'd sacrificed for what? But I sat with it, let it breathe, until it became fuel. I wasn't the guy begging for scraps anymore. I was free. Karma didn't take long to show up, about 3 months after the split, from what I pieced together through the grapevine. At first, I didn't seek it out. I was too busy rebuilding. But mutual friends, the ones who hadn't picked sides right away, started dropping hints in casual texts. Hey man, heard about Emma and Jake? Rough. I didn't pry, but the details trickled in, and damn if it wasn't poetic justice. Turns out Jake was exactly who I'd always known him to be, a flake with a dark side. Charismatic on the surface, but unstable underneath. He'd convinced Emma to quit her job search, promising he'd take care of her with his sales commissions. Big talk. They moved into that downtown loft she bragged about. Turns out it was a short-term rental he could barely afford, racking up debt on credit cards. The adventures she craved? Skydiving trips that left her terrified, parties where he'd flirt with other women right in front of her. Friends said she started looking worn out, posting less on social media, her vibrant laugh gone. Then the cracks really showed. Jake cheated multiple times, apparently. One was with a coworker, exposed when Emma found texts on his phone. Another was some girl from a bar, leading to a screaming match that neighbors called the cops on. He turned abusive, not physical from what I heard, but verbal and emotional, belittling her dreams, calling her clingy when she questioned him. You're just like Alex, too needy, he'd snap, twisting the knife with my name. Ironic, right? The guy she'd chosen as her upgrade discarded her like trash, mirroring how she'd treated me. She tried to leave once, but he manipulated her back with apologies and promises. Classic cycle. The unraveling hit full force when Jake's job imploded. He'd been faking sales numbers to hit quotas, got fired amid a company audit. No severance, just lawsuits looming. The loft, evicted for unpaid rent. Emma, with no job and her savings drained on fun outings, ended up crashing on her sister's couch. Her reputation tanked too. Mutual friends finally heard the full story from both sides. The ones who'd congratulated her on the new chapter posts started distancing themselves. We thought it was mutual, one texted me. But cheating with your best friend? That's low. Online, her cryptic posts backfired. People commented things like, "Karma's a bitch," and she deleted her account. Broke, isolated, irrelevant. She'd burned every bridge chasing that spark. Her family, who I'd helped financially before, didn't step up much. They were dealing with their own drama. I didn't gloat. Didn't need to. Sitting with the news over coffee one morning, I felt nothing. No satisfaction, just confirmation I'd made the right call. The confusion from those early days? Gone. The unfairness? It had breathed, lingered, then faded into lessons learned. I'd thrived in the silence. New apartment upgraded, side project turning into freelance gigs, even started dating casually. Women who valued stability without calling it boring. Emma's downfall was her own making, a realistic slide from smug to desperate. If anything, it reinforced my peace, dodged not one bullet, but two. The attempt started small, about 5 months post-ghosting. I was at the gym when my phone buzzed, a text from an unknown number. "Alex, it's Emma. Can we talk? I miss what we had." I read it, felt a flicker of old hurt, but deleted and blocked. No response. That was the plan, detach completely. She didn't stop. Next came voicemails, her voice shaky at first. "Hey, it's me. Jake and I. It didn't work. He cheated, Alex. Multiple times. I was so stupid. You were always there for me, stable and kind. Please call back. I need to explain." Delete. Then emails, since I'd blocked her main number. Longer please, detailing her regrets. "I see now how I manipulated you, compared you unfairly. It wasn't your fault. I was chasing a fantasy. Life's falling apart without you. Lost the apartment, no job. Can you forgive me? Let's meet for coffee. I archived them unread after skimming the subjects. Her desperation ramped up. Why are you ignoring me? After 4 years, I deserve closure. That's when her family got involved, toxic as ever. Her mom called from a number I didn't recognize. I answered, thinking it was work. Alex, this is Karen. You need to talk to Emma. She's a mess, crying all the time, no money. Family sticks together, and you were practically family. Forgiving her would show you're a real man. I stayed calm. Karen, that's not my responsibility anymore. She huffed, petty. She made a mistake. Jake manipulated her. You owe her a conversation at least. Click. Hung up. Her sister, Lisa, was worse. Showed up at my new office lobby one afternoon, uninvited and unpleasant. I was leaving for lunch when she cornered me. Alex, wait. Emma's wrecked. Jake abused her, cheated left and right. She's broke, living with me, and it's all because she lost you. Come on, take her back. You loved her once. I kept walking. Lisa, I'm not interested. She followed, voice rising. What, you're too good now? She said you were boring, but look at her, alone and pathetic. Her friends ditched her after the truth came out. You could fix this. I stopped at my car. No, goodbye. Drove off, heart pounding but resolve firm. Emma escalated personally. Texts from burner numbers. Please, Alex. I beg you. I was wrong. Jake was fake, unstable. You're the real deal. Let's start over. Then anger seeped in. How can you be so cold? You act like I meant nothing. This is your fault too. You were too safe, push me away. Voicemails turned nasty. Fine, ignore me. But karma will hit you next. I see your posts through friends. You're thriving? Good for you, asshole. But I know you still care. Hypocrisy on full display. Begging 1 minute, lashing out the next, revealing those true colors I'd missed before. The peak was her showing up at my apartment. Must have gotten the address from a mutual. Knocked frantically one evening as I cooked dinner. I opened the door a crack. Alex, thank God. Let me in. We need to talk. She looked rough, disheveled hair, red eyes, desperation etched in. Jake dumped me after cheating. I'm isolated, no job, debts piling. I realize now you were everything. Please forgive me. Her voice cracked, but the manipulation lingered, eyes scanning for weakness. I stayed composed. Emma, no. She pushed. But I love you. It was a mistake. Your best friend seduced me. We can rebuild. Then the shift to anger. You're heartless. After I gave you years. My family's right. You're petty and weak. I closed the door mid-rant, locked it, called security to escort her out, blocked the new number. The attempts revealed it all. Her emotional shifts from fake remorse to fury, the power reversal where she begged while I held firm, her hypocrisy in blaming everyone but herself. It breathed, this middle chaos. Let me process the lingering unfairness one last time. But I didn't waver. She was becoming just noise. The final nail came at our mutual friend Mike's wedding, 7 months after the split. I'd RSVP'd yes long before, figuring I'd face the music eventually. It was a garden venue outside the city, elegant, string lights, laughter echoing. I showed up solo but thriving, tailored suit from my recent raise, confident stride from gym gains and therapy wins. New life in full swing, freelance coding booming. Even had a date lined up for next week with Sarah, a graphic designer who'd called me refreshingly real. Emma was there, uninvited drama in tow. Looked like she'd tried to rally. Makeup heavy to hide the wear, dress a bit too flashy for the occasion. Her sister Lisa hovered nearby, shooting me glares. Mutual friends whispered. Most had sided against her by now, the truth about the affair spreading like wildfire. She spotted me during cocktail hour, beelined over with that desperate edge. Alex, she said, voice low but urgent, grabbing my arm. We need to talk. Now. Jake's gone. Cheated with some bartender, left me with nothing. I'm crashing at Lisa's, applying for jobs, but it's hell. I see it all clearly. You were the one. Stable, loving. I was manipulated, but that's no excuse. Take me back? Please. I stepped back calmly, sipping my drink. Emma, no. Her eyes widened, tears forming. Why? I beg you. I've unraveled. Friends ghosted me after hearing how I betrayed you. Family's barely helping. I deserve a second chance. Lisa chimed in. unpleasant as ever. Yeah, Alex, don't be a dick. She's suffered enough. Forgive like a man. I met Emma's gaze, indifferent. Facts are, Emma, you chose him. Cheated, manipulated, discarded me. Your relevance ended that night. I've built something better, a career on fire, peace I protect, people who value me without comparisons. You're a memory, nothing more. Good luck finding your way. She faltered, hypocrisy cracking. But you still care, right? After everything. Anger flashed. This is bullshit. You're punishing me because I wanted excitement? Look at you now, upgraded life, probably dating. I made you better. I shook my head, realist to the core. No punishment. Just facts. I'm free, thriving. You're irrelevant to my happiness. Move on. Turned away, joining friends at the bar. She lingered, whispering furiously with Lisa, but security, tipped off by Mike, escorted them out quietly. The contrast hit hard. Her desperate, unraveled in the background, me toasting with old pals, laughter genuine. Later, as the night wound down, I felt complete. No lingering care, no sympathy. She'd become powerless, a ghost in my rearview. The reversal was visual, ironic, her failure on display at a celebration of commitment, while my growth shone. Emotionally free, I drove home alone, but not lonely. That chapter? Closed for good. Thanks for watching. Make sure to subscribe to the channel and hit the like button. What do you think about this story? Share it in the comments.